Yeah, I mean, he's got to start landing some damage.
It's gone! The hammerhead is gone!
That's exactly what I was talking about. I think that's what he was worried about.
Let the last chance rumble begin. Gigabyte trying to spin up to full speed. Bombshell looking to strike the first blow. But we've got our first mishmash with Duck and Red Devil. Valkyrie gets spotted. Gigabyte almost up on the screws. Bombshell delivered a huge shot. Oh, whoa, that was Valkyrie set against the screws.
Oh, man.
Duck getting taken for a ride by Lucky. Red Devil and Bombshell are hooked up. Gigabyte gets sent to the screws by Duck.
Valkyrie starting to spin up. Duck just ramming into Valkyrie.
Whoa! Lucky having some driving issues. Just sort of crab walking. Bombshell pushing around Gigabyte. Now Red Devil looking to scrap with Bombshell.
Oh, Red Devil, look at their treads.
Bombshell with the shot of the match so far. Red Devil just took another huge shot from Gigabyte as we're almost a minute into this thing. And Gigabyte takes another shot.
Yeah, Gigabyte holding up pretty well despite ramming into the side of the box repeatedly.
Lucky looks half asleep.
Valkyrie still in this. He's gonna try to ram him into Gigabyte. Duck almost able to ram Valkyrie into Gigabyte. He's going for it again, and he does.
Great job by Hal Rucker and Duck. Duck looking for somebody to pick on. Once again, Lucky's smoking. Red Devil down. Bombshell down. Gigabyte spinning in circles. Valkyrie can barely move. Duck looking to be the only bot still standing. Are we going to get a count out here? Has Hal Rucker earned the number 16 seed?
Oh, look at this. Bombshell's back. Bombshell's back.
Are you kidding me? Bombshell rising from the dead in the final seconds of this match.
Wow.
And that's going to make things very interesting, Kenny, as the judges will have to decide between Duck and Bombshell.
Great fight.
Absolute anarchy inside the box. How are the judges going to sort this one out?
Yeah, Bombshell delivered our first big hit of the fight, launching Gigabyte into the screws. Valkyrie sending itself into the screws. Swing and a miss right there.
And then what might have been the hit of the match. Bombshell tearing the tread right off of Red Devil, who at that point was down for the count.
The results of the Last Chance Rumble are in. The winner by unanimous decision is Bombshell!
So Bombshell gets the win and earns the 16 seed, and Hal Rucker can't believe it. It was an impressive performance by Duck, but apparently not impressive enough for the judges.
And a unanimous decision, no less. Wow.
Let the bot battle begin, and here comes that cow catcher. And it's caught huge. What does it do from there?
Well, that's the big question. I mean, it can isolate Huge. It can kind of box them in a little bit, but what kind of damage can it do to Huge? I'm not sure it's going to do anything.
Whoa! But now Hydra pushes Huge into the pulverizer and scores a shot with that 100-pound hammer. Wow!
There it is. There's endgame right there, buddy.
And with that shot, Hydra may have scored a few points. It's got Huge pinned now.
You need to release. Back up. I'm not touching him. He can back up if he wants.
Back up!
Back up! Back up! I don't need to move anymore.
Well, you hear Jake Ewart saying, I'm not actually touching
He
him.
can move if he wants. Back up. I'm not holding him.
Back up. I'm telling you to back up. That's a warning.
Back up. Fine, I backed up. There you go. Come on. Back up. Back up.
Wow, okay, Jake Ewart talking some
Backed up
trash
again.
to the
There you
referee
go.
as well, saying, hey, listen, I'm backing up. I'm giving him some space to move. I don't have to fully let him out of the corner.
And it's like a big brother with his finger in your face going, I'm not touching him, I'm not touching him.
So Hydra has received the referee's warning, but here he is corralling Huge in the corner once again. That's a 10-second allowable pin before Jake Ewart and Hydra have to release Huge out into the wild.
I think Jake Ewart is doing the math and saying, I landed that shot with a pulverizer, now I'm just gonna run out the clock, and I don't care what you think about it.
And Jonathan Schultz, you can see the frustration in his eyes, and I'm not talking about the ones on the bot.
Oh, and another shot to the top of Huge from the pulverizer.
This strategy has really paid off for Hydra, and he's doing a great job of really isolating Huge and identifying a big weakness.
Final few seconds. This one's gonna go to the judges' scorecard.
Hey, Jonathan, I think it worked perfectly, huh, buddy?
All right, the match will be scored using an 11-point system broken up into 3 categories. 5 points for damage and 3 apiece for aggression and control. Jason Bardis, Lisa Winner, and Derek Young are your judges.
The results from the judges are in. The winner by unanimous decision is... Hydra!
That doesn't make sense at all.
Let the bot battle begin! Rotator's weapon ramping up to speed. Beta tried a little box rush, wanting to dictate the pace early, trying to line up that hammer shot. Oh! And Beta rams Rotator with that giant front wedge. Now delivers him into the front of the box. Sparks flying as Rotator's blade makes contact with the battle box floor. Oh!
On again.
Rotator has to be careful to not let Beta rush them around too violently here, Chris. We've seen horizontal spinners catch a blade on the floor and blow themselves up before.
45 seconds into this fight. When's Beta gonna fire that hammer? It is so explosive.
Yeah, Beta definitely choosing to bide their time with that hammer. They've got the wedge working right now, Chris.
Uh-oh! Oh! And Beta uses Rotator's disc against itself.
Exactly what I was talking about, Chris. Things can get very dicey for Rotator if they allow themselves to get bullied like that. He's got to be careful because if he does fire that weapon arm could be vulnerable to that horizontal spinner or Rotator, but yeah, I mean, he's got to start landing some damage.
It's gone! The hammerhead is gone!
That's exactly what I was talking about. I think that's what he was worried about.
So without firing the hammerhead one time, John Reed's weapon is gone. Can Beta win this fight without an active weapon?
This is going to be fascinating, Chris. Beta has been in control, but Rotator may have just pulled ahead with one swing of that blade.
But look at the driving by Beta. Able to keep Rotator off balance.
Incredible that Rotator's weapon is still working after all this contact. That thing is indestructible, never stops.
We're in the final few seconds. And Beta continues to push Rotator around. Will it be enough to secure the victory?
Well done. That was awesome.
Victor Soto seems super excited, but this one is in the hands of the judges. So remember, there are 3 different categories. 5 points for damage, 3 for aggression, 3 for control. Kenny, did you ever think you'd see a fight with Beta where he wouldn't fire his hammer?
I mean, yeah, I was really confused by that at first, but then when you saw that horizontal blade spinning, I don't think he wanted to take that risk. And we saw as soon as it made contact with the weapon arm or with the tip of that hammer, we saw it just fly straight off. But I thought that by far Beta won the control aspect of that fight. I thought Rotator was going for a ride repeatedly throughout that fight. I thought the wedge of Beta was doing a great job. So as far as control, aggression, I kind of give that aspect to Beta, but certainly losing your primary weapon did not look good. That's a lot of damage, and it was done by the primary weapon of Rotator. This is a really close fight.
So let's go to Farouk to announce the winner.
The results from the judges are in. We have a split decision. Judge Derek scored the battle for Beta. Judge Jason scored the battle for Rotator. Judge Lisa scored the battle for your winner, Beta.